talk about the barley and how you process it and where you get it from.
Yeah. See, barley per se is not grown in South. We are based in South India. South is not the place where barley is grown because it needs some cold climate. We don't have that liberty of having that very cold climate in Bangalore. So we procure it from up country, which is north of India, from Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan. Okay, so this is being, we carry the malt in trucks only, depending upon the requirements. So obviously it's a continuous supply of trucks is maintained week after week. And what we do is basically the barley that is grown in India is little bit huskier and less starch compared to what is available in Europe, because we process both the malts from Europe as well as from India. So the difference that we feel is the Indian malt barley is a little shriveled, more huskier, and obviously if less starch is there, so obviously you tend to end up with lesser yields of alcohol compared to what we import from UK. So what we basically do is we have a requirement of 1 ton per brew. Basically, it's a small mash tun, and that's the bucket elevator. It gets lifted through the bucket elevator, comes down through this mill, and where we convert this barley into the grist, with a specific percentage of husk and the grist and the fine powder, and mix it with hot water at different temperatures. The first water is at 64 degrees centigrade. We mash the malt with that and give it a rest of about 1 hour resting time, where the natural enzymes are there, alpha amylase, beta amylase, other enzymes, set of enzymes that are naturally present in barley. And because of this hot water, the enzymes get triggered, and they convert this starch into the fermentable sugars like glucose, fructose, maltose, and those sugars come into the wort, and we drain the wort, cool it, and pump it to the fermenter, pitch the yeast immediately, and then it's repeated by the second water at a higher temperature, and then again a resting period of about 40 minutes, and then again what is not converted the first time gets converted the second time, the starch, and then you drain it again, cool it, and pump it to the same fermenter. And then we are not done still. We still feel that there's some amount of sugars left out, sticking to the surface of the grain in the mash tun, the solid bed which is there, remaining. So we add the third water again at high temperatures. So just sparge the hot water, and then basically rinse off those sticking sugars along with the grain there in the mash tun, and take it down and take it into this what we call as the third water tank. So this is the third water tank here. So this is kept at hot condition, and by the time the mash tun is empty, we clear the spent grain out of the mash tun, and it takes a while to clean it and keep it ready for the next shift people to come. So normally the second shift starts. This whole process takes about 7.5 hours of time. So that's close to a shift. By the time the mash tun is ready, it's cleaned. So the second shift people will come and they start the process again. And when they start the second brew, so they start with this third water as the first water. So that goes on and on and on like that. And once we pump it to the fermenter, fermenters we'll take you to the fermenters also. And what we do is basically, the fermenters are stainless steel fermenters. Those are the stainless steel fermenters, where we have a jacket at 2 levels of the fermenters, where the chill water is circulating. So we have a temperature controlled fermentations. India is a hot country, so if you don't allow to cooling, so probably the frothing you'll not be able to control it, and then the quality is also impacted. The viability of the yeast gets impacted. So that's the reason why we have a chilled water circulating through all the fermenters to keep the temperatures low, so that the viability of the yeast is better, and obviously the viability of the yeast is better. There's a better consumption of sugars, and there's a better consumption of sugars, there's a better yield, obviously. So and we take a fairly long time in our fermentations. We had a 6-day fermentation cycle previously, but then we had to cut it down by a day of fermentation time, and because we are quite stressed for supply of whiskey, so obviously we have to produce more and more. And what all we did to start with the existing facility to increase the capacities without adding on anything is by way of reducing the fermentation time, and probably we could increase the production by almost 15%. So that's how we are doing at the moment. It's a 5-day cycle fermentation cycle time, and after the 5th day we take it to the wash for the distillation. So we'll go to the distillation part.